Through observation, gameplay elements and their interactions are recognised by Forrest's 2014 paper to have a correlational relationship with the performance of a team or individual. Therefore, by analysing gameplay context and distinguishing particular conceptual features of play mentioned in Gréhaigne et al.'s 2015 book, meaning is created. Here, across two different contexts within the same netball court sport of volleyball, there are two gameplay sequences that are successful in returning the ball to their opposition, with both plays involving the primary rule of a three-person pass. As Paleo et al.'s 2014 paper mentions, it is possible to notice a common sequence of actions within the game of volleyball, as it is said the sport is made up of common patterning. Here, it is noticed in each of the videos a dominant distribution pattern is executed, as a player on the far back corner receives the first pass, followed by the middle player, and then finishes with the third player on the other far side of the court, which then returns the ball to the opposing team. In the two successful gameplays, it is observed the most obvious contributor to their success may be the use of a cohesive strategy at the team level in relation to their gameplay configuration, being a combination of both shapes and patterns. Maybe due to previous experience as a team, in both situations, teams seem to have made a team decision, which Gréhaigne et al.'s 2011 paper explains is a fundamental component to strategic planning. These have been observed as 1. Firstly, organising their plays in a specific formation on the court, followed by 2. Implementing a collective strategy to follow when executing play in relation to that specific systemic pattern. Here, the teams have collectively decided on a particular strategy and further execute it within the game situation, a concept Lennartsson et al. 2015's paper recognised as game intelligence. A comment made in Lynn's 2014 paper also recognises that the development of an effective volleyball strategy is a key component and crucial aspect of team success. As Lennartsson et al.'s 2015 article mentions, it is near impossible for players to know with precision what would definitely happen in a particular occasion. However, individuals can implement strategies based on what has been recognised to be a common or recurring situation previously. Firstly, team members' knowledge and cognitive map of a space within the court has supposedly been developed in what is assumed to be previous experience within the game where prior players may or may not have been successful. This is assessed as the teams have noticed to make a decision at the team level to organise themselves in correspondence with particular spatial aspects, described in Rain and Mammoth's 2016 article as being where particular actions take place within the court. It is observed here that there is an establishment of a triangular formation with evenly distributed effective play space between each player in order to possibly cover the immediate play space on their court. As there are 3 players in each team, it has been analysed that they may have decided to divide the court into 3 vertical columns, with each player may be responsible for playing the ball when it gets into their corridor, either moving forward or backwards to receive the ball with a limited requirement for horizontal travel. This is shown in both videos as players only alter their positioning slightly, shortening the confrontational space towards their opposition as a result of play execution firstly from the pass from their opposition, followed by the passes within their own team. This organisation and designation of roles and responsibility to players of executing a movement skill action within their space is an implementation of team competency and may decrease the possibility for failure. Here, it is recognised that success may have been assisted by the concept of assigning player positioning, being a core element of performance Hughes and Franks mentions in their 2004 paper. Secondly, a systematic strategy may have been organised between team members in an aim to successfully execute the 3-pass primary rule. It has been observed that both teams have recognised where the most common space that the opposition passes to off a serve, being the far back player on the left side for Team A and the right side for Team B. This is assumed, as in the video with Team B, the back left player's individual decision to alter her posture and positioning from a casual stance to a ready to receive stance is more obvious than the other 2 players on Team B, which do not evidently alter their beginning pose. This ready-to-play stance is also mirrored in the video with Team A's 2 back points of the triangular formation, with an addition of the middle point's confident individual decision to completely rotate his posture and positioning to face his team members, shifting his attentional focus specifically on receiving the second ball following a team member deeper back in the court. The system of passes put into play also mirrors the positioning of players on the court, suggesting that particular positions may align with specific movement skills. This is observed as the back player 1 completes a dig, followed by the middle player executing an overhead set, finished with the last player performing a spike. Here, the assistance of skill acquisition of both the passers and the receivers of the ball between the team members also assists in the play being successful, as said in Florence et al.'s 2008 paper, that an individual's volleyball ability level is inadequately completing skills, as seen in the video footage, can predict a team's success. Lastly, the teams are also recognised to show confidence in their play sequence strategy by utilising effective communication skills for confirming and encouraging tactical interactions between themselves. Team members are noticed to verbally reaffirm their role in the play pattern through cues heard as yep, here, and set, set, set. The use of nonverbal communication is directed away from instructional cues that signify intent, such as arm gestures to where the ball should go, but rather more so through ready-to-play postures, initiating a confident reliance on the strategy at play. As mentioned in Zamfir's 2017 paper, adequate communication skills are a fundamental component for a team's success, and it is observed here the use of these skills may have assisted in the flow and execution of both teams' gameplay. It is therefore recognised that through the movement of cohesive team decisions and a systemic interrelation of the concepts mentioned above, both gameplays have been successful. In the following two videos involving Team A and Team B, both teams have made an opposing result, being an unsuccessful play off a serve, which may have been due to the potential negative effects on individual and group performance from a group of elements, Forrest's 2014 paper explains. In other words, the systematic concepts interrelated to create a non-beneficial result rather than a positive one. It is observed that after a serve from the opposition, a first receiver of the ball is a player back deep in the court who completes a dig to an unsuccessful play in Team A and to another team member followed by an unsuccessful play in Team B. Although the teams were unsuccessful at different points in time, it is observed that similar concepts may have contributed to the gameplay's loss, mainly assessing the deficient structuring of the team's apparent decided collective strategy in relation to their systemic execution of play discussed previously. As both teams begin in the similar formation of a three-point triangle, they have adhered to what may have been their constructed configuration on the court. Although play begins in this arrangement, the recently explained dominant distribution pattern is interrupted through the influence of individual decision-making aspects, those explained in Gréhaigne et al.'s 2005 book, page 44, such as player's cognitive map and player's posture and positioning. Firstly, in Team A, the collective strategy of systemically passing from side to middle to left was abandoned by the middle player, as maybe his cognitive map skills at that moment were insufficient, as he did not see the play to clearly be his responsibility, although it was in his corridor. Instead, the middle player may have made the individual decision to not move within his immediate play space in response to the situational play at hand, a voluntary action which could have had an advantage to the team through execution, explained in Grehaigne. Instead, the player's cue recognition was at fault, as it observed he did not take the responsibility to alter his posture and positioning to receive the ball on the second pass, which was an assumed team cohesive strategy discussed previously. This decision may have also been influenced by the assumption the first player would adequately dig the ball in skillful precision to his front position. However, this was not the case. In Team B's play, the similar concept occurred to create a disruption of the team's assumed decided structural play configuration. This is observed after the opposition completes a serve. Team B's apparent organised formation of a triangle was interrupted due to the individual decision-making skills from the player on the left side of the court, whereas cognitive map skills were insufficient. It is noticed that although the ball is executed towards the far right of the court, the left player exits his designated column horizontally to receive the ball, mistakenly creating an empty play space. As other team members continue to carry out what has assumed to be their collective strategy of executing the three-ball pass from one side to the middle to the other side, a set was executed and directed into the gap which was out of the player's range. Although the player attempted to spike the ball, his skill execution was impacted by his misplacement of positioning on the court, which has caused the play to consequently fail. Therefore, it is observed that the unsuccessful plays were maybe due to the insufficient execution of the team's collective strategy defined in Gréhaigne et al.'s 2001 article as a team action guidelines to play, as this may have been interrupted from individual aspects of decision-making interrelating, both plays were then noticed to fail.